Microplastics. What is all the noise about these microplastics? You know, there's the Ice Age, right? And we've heard of the Stone Age. Well, it's to the point that some are calling this the Plasticine. They had to give it a name because these microplastics are everywhere. Take this table saw, for example. Over 94% of brands contain microplastics. They're even on top of Everest. So, if they're gonna be here for a while, I think we owe it to ourselves to get to know them a bit. What's happening, good people? I'm Alzo Slade here with Nat Geo to break down how everything you experience and consume can affect your body in ways you may not expect. So let's get into it. Today we're crunching, what does microplastic do to my body? How small are microplastics? Microplastics are defined as any piece of plastic measuring less than 5 millimeters. That's about the size of a pencil eraser. Nanoplastics are a different level. They're pieces smaller than 1 micron. A micron is roughly 1/8 the size of a red blood cell. Raise your hand if you don't know what the size of a red blood cell is. Anybody? Let's just say it's really small, like itty bitty small. But now, with new fancy imaging technology, we're realizing the problem is much worse than we previously thought. You might be thinking of that jug of laundry detergent floating out in the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. But they're all over land too, and our everyday actions are making more of them. Driving on the road, car tires jettison microplastics from normal road wear. Those fresh outfits you got, made out of nylon, polyester, or some other synthetic fabric, yep, shed microplastic fibers just by being worn and washed. 9 out of 10 cosmetic products from major brands contain microplastics. That means simply washing your face could be increasing microplastic pollution in our waterways. You know these water bottles we're always drinking from? They create microplastics when they're heated, or even just open and closed. Easy as that. Just like Fluffy's constantly shedding fur around the house, plastic is always shedding microplastics. Not only are these fragments being ingested from food and water, but those teeny tiny nanoplastics are in the air we breathe and even entering directly through our skin via wounds, sweat glands, and hair follicles. Though the amount is debated, one study estimated that the average person might be consuming up to 5 grams of plastic every week. That's a credit card's worth. At that rate, we'd be consuming a whole heaping dinner plate per year. So, we're consuming all these plastics. Where are they going? They're in our blood, saliva, liver, kidneys, placenta, lungs, hearts, breast milk. Ooh, they're everywhere, folks. Microplastics have even been found inside the brain. Code red. And the scariest part of all of this, as if it's not been scary thus far, I'm gonna give it to you straight. We don't yet understand the implications of these invaders at all. The research on microplastics is still in its early years, but initial findings around the world suggest that they've been potentially linked to inflammatory bowel disease, complications from strokes and heart attacks, immune cell death, inhibited lung tissue growth, and colorectal cancer. Ooh. We should tell you clearly, researching the physical effects of microplastics is a tremendous task. It's not just about the plastic, but all the things they carry with them. National Geographic senior editor Sarah Gibbons will tell us more.
Think of all of the things that you use plastic for. You put it in the microwave, you throw it in your freezer, you stretch it out over a piece of dough. At its most basic level, it's what we call polymers. It's almost like if you took flour, but in order to make flour pizza, or in order to make flour a cookie, you add all of these different ingredients into that recipe. And so plastic is kind of similar. You need tens of thousands of different chemicals to make plastic harder, softer, heat-resistant, etc. BPA and some of the other chemicals used in plastics are what are known as endocrine disruptors. Our cells can't really recognize that it's a chemical that is man-made versus, say, estrogen hormone. It'll block that hormone, and so your body doesn't get the hormone that it needs, or it will overproduce and your hormones are suddenly out of whack. Phthalates are used to make plastic soft. It's in something like cling wrap, and phthalates have been linked to certain cancers and other long-term health issues. But that's only 2 out of about 10,000 chemicals. So we don't really know what the other chemicals are doing to our body. They're so small and so lightweight that they can be picked up in a water molecule, they can be carried in the wind. So microplastic from halfway across the world could end up in your backyard. You're eating them, you're inhaling them, you're drinking them. They are everywhere.
Thanks for that overwhelming explainer, Sarah. Now I know that deep breath I just took was full of microplastics. So, how can we escape microplastics? Unfortunately, we can't. Like loitering teens at the corner mart, they are here to stay.
Oh, bet.
Plastic is necessary to how our modern world works, and we won't eliminate it anytime soon. Something that you can do to reduce your exposure, albeit a little bit, is to adopt and avoid the avoidable mentality. Purchase clothing made from natural fabrics like linen, cotton, wool, silk, and hemp. And use glass and metal in lieu of plastic. And I got a super easy one for you. Don't heat up food in plastic containers. Even if they say they're microwave safe, just toss it on a plate. Yeah, I know you gotta wash the dish, but that's the price we gotta pay for less plastic in us. As you're well aware, individual action alone may not be enough to solve this problem. But luckily, folks all around the globe are working towards fixes. Scientists identified 2 fungi that biodegrade polypropylene. That's the plastic of syringes, cling wrap, and cleaning product bottles.